All right, so welcome to our pantry clean out portion of this webinar. We are going to take a look through with some snacks here, and I think the biggest part of this is that it's really important to honor your cravings, have the foods that you love, but what can we do to make them better, and what can we do to maybe replace some things or not? So we're going to take a look here in this pantry. I have some things pulled out already that we can look at, and then we're going to take a look in here as well. So let's start with the cabinet portion. I'm going to pull some things out. We're going to talk about them. So the first thing I want to pull out is these Oreos. Okay, so we actually have back here, see if I can reach it. Oh, I can't reach it. There's a regular pack of Oreos in there. And this is a great substitute for regular Oreos. Sometimes you just want an Oreo and you want to crave that craving and have it. The reason I say that this is a great substitute, if you're going to have an Oreo, just have an Oreo. But let's choose a little bit more responsible ingredients. And we talked about this in our supermarket evaluation, this non-GMO label. This is made with no bioengineered products. So at least you know that you're getting whole products in here. And you can see here, there is a handful of products, but there's nothing crazy in it. There's nothing man-made in a lab. So this would be a great substitution for regular Oreos if you can find them at Whole Foods. And there's a brand called Nature, this one, that you can find in regular supermarkets. And this is a great substitute for Ritz crackers. A lot of children love Ritz crackers. I personally love them as well. And this is a great alternative to Ritz crackers, made with no bioengineered ingredients, and you can find that non-GMO label there. So here's two really great swaps. You don't have to go to Whole Foods for these. They do have them in regular supermarkets as well. While we're on that topic, Goldfish is another favorite, and this is a great alternative. You can see that these say organic. That means everything is in here is organic. They also have a non-GMO version of this, which is at least not genetically bioengineered and modified. So this would be a great alternative to Goldfish. One thing I do want to say about Goldfish is that there are a lot of sneaky ingredients in Goldfish, and one of them is MSG is actually in Goldfish, and it's gone by another name. So you do want to be careful when you're serving up Goldfish. I know that kids love them, and it's hard to change the shape, which sounds crazy for people who don't have children. Sometimes changing the shape could be a big problem, and if you can just slowly wean them off the Goldfish and into this is a great option. While we're on the kids section, this was one that was a heartbreaker to me, and we do still have these in our house. But there are actually two versions of Pirate Booty, and not a lot of people know this. There is an organic version that's made with organic corn, and then there's this version. Okay, so the organic version will have the organic seal, which looks like that. Again, you can check out our courses. We have the supermarket one that'll tell you all about that. But this one here has this little tiny line, and it says contains a bioengineered food ingredient. And the bioengineered food ingredient that this has is corn. And that's a really bad one that you want to stay away from, bioengineered corn. So if you can find the non-GMO or organic version of this, that is a great option to have. Now, I do want to say that sometimes, having a product that's bioengineered here and there is okay. If it's one snack that you love, but overall consumption of it over and over again is where you're going to get into trouble. So, having things once, having regular Oreos once, I have them in there because I had to buy them because there was no other option. So I'm having one pack of Oreos, but when you have your Pirate Booty, your regular corn, your other food, and all these things compounded on top of each other that are bioengineered, that's when you get into trouble. So while we're on the topic of corn, this is a great swap for a popcorn craving, are these popcorners. And it actually says on here, non-GMO corn, and they're never fried. So this is a great alternative to chips and popcorn. that are really responsible for you. It actually even talks about the corn on the back as well. So these are great to try, and you can find those at any supermarket. There's some other swaps for cheese curls and cheese puffs that you can use. You want to look for things that say organic. You want to stay away from things that say made with real cheese, because that doesn't mean that it's still going to be healthy for you. Now, these are not healthy snacks. I do want to, kind of talk about that a little bit. These still are like junk food, right? But it's a more responsible way to have that junk food. We can still have this in moderation. We can still have it as a part of our diet. Kids are going to want it. They're going to see other kids at school having cheese curls and goldfish. Now, how can we feed them more responsibly? How can we feed ourselves more responsibly? We can choose better options with more responsible ingredients when we eat. So this is a good brand. Good Health is a really great brand to try. Now, one thing for kids and adults alike is when you have something like this in your cabinet. Okay, this is just a plain bag. It was obviously bought in bulk, but there's no portion size on it. And this is where you're gonna get in trouble. This is where you're going to overeat that carby snack that's not really filling you up. So I encourage you to take the bulk box and, I don't know where they are, get this portion size out and write it on here, or cut it out and put it on here somehow, so that 12 crackers is your serving size. And this is actually a really great brand. I got this at Costco. This is Mary's Gone Crackers. This is Super Seed. So this has a lot of great ingredients in it. They're really easy to read. Brown rice, quinoa, pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, flax seeds, sesame seeds, poppy seeds, onion, garlic, sea salt, and it's all organic. So that's a really great ingredient list, because everything that's in here, what's there. But I would discourage you from doing something like this. Even, I know a lot of people use containers. If you're going to use containers, make sure you know what the serving size is and write it on there to remind yourself, okay? What else do we have in here? We have some Pringles. This is another example of a bioengineered thing. It actually, is that? Dried potatoes, wheat. Yeah, there it is. So you want to make sure, there are other versions of this as well, but also you want to ride that fine line of having what you want. A great chip alternative, if you're trying to get rid of the chips, is seaweed. It's still crunchy. It gives you that salty flavor. My kids love it. I love it. This is great with a salad too, or a salad with rice in it. This is a great chip alternative. We keep these around. You can get these at Costco, and a lot of the supermarkets have them as well. Another great chip alternative is these Terra chips. They come in sweet potato and beet varieties. They are non-GMO. They're not organic, but they are non-GMO, which is great when you want to talk about potatoes. Potatoes come from the ground. They're on the Dirty Dozen list. Again, a supermarket video will help guide you with this, but this is a great version of beets. One thing I do want to talk about are veggie sticks. A lot of parents and even adults snack on these because you think it's better than a chip. It does have vegetable powders in it, but really it's just as junk food as a chip, okay? A little bit more responsible ingredients, but it's not a health food. It is still a junk food snack. We do have some things like nuts in here. Let's talk about bars. Bars are really easy to eat a lot of. One of our favorite bars is a Larabar because of the ingredient list. So I have a couple varieties that I keep in my house often. This is a peanut butter chocolate chip, and this is just peanut butter, but they're all different kinds. And I want to read you the one for peanut butter. It's just dates, peanuts, and sea salt. And this one is obviously dates, peanuts, and semi-sweet chocolate chips, and it gives you the ingredients for the chocolate chips. So whole food ingredients, very healthy. If you need something quickly, high in fat to sustain you, and that's sweet, these are great options. There's also some chewy, Annie's organic. Again, these aren't like the healthiest choices when you want to make food choices, but sometimes if you need a bar, right, you want to pick the most responsible one. I would always tell you to try and get a whole food snack if you can, pack something, pack veggies and hummus, and now they come in these little containers. I would make that a more sustainable snack than a bar that's going to spike your sugar. But if that's all confusing you, know that we have programs that step by step lead you through this and give you all the resources you need as well, plus coaches. So some other great little bars are like these boba bars. These really have nothing in them. They're made of rolled oats. They're very organic, whole food substitutes for when you need a bar. So there's a lot of like bars and like granola options here. This one is great because it's gluten-free. It's got chocolate chips. It does have sugar, but it also has like apple pieces and broccoli and carrots and stuff like that in there. I do want to talk about fruit snacks. Fruit snacks were a huge hurdle that I dealt with my kids going to school. They wanted fruit snacks because everybody else had them. So some of the fruit snacks alternative that we use, we have a couple different ones here. The Fruit Thief is a really great one. This has all natural ingredients: apples, apple juice, strawberries, raspberries, black currant, black carrot extract, and natural berry flavor. So you can see that those don't really have any garbage in it. These are great too. They're called That's It bars, and these are non-GMO as well, and they only have apples and blueberries in it. So these are like really minimal ingredients. Maybe not so fun for the kids. They like these pull apart ones. We have the Annie's organic ones as well. So those are some options for that. We do have some things that satisfy that craving that maybe aren't a fruit snack. We love freeze-dried fruit. These are two of the ones that really hit the spot when you want something sweet. You can also get dried fruit. Dried fruit is a good one. Just watch for ones that have added sugar, and you'll be able to see that on the ingredient. Sometimes it'll say in the front, it'll say sweetened cranberries. Sometimes you have to read the back. This is cherries, but when you look at it, you have to read, it says organic cherries, organic cane sugar, and sunflower oil. So you do want to make sure you read when you get to those dried fruits. Those are a great candy alternative for sure. We do have things that sometimes you just want and you gotta have it. These Pepperidge Farm pirouettes are legit junk food. There's nothing responsible about that, and that's okay. They are bioengineered. It says it somewhere on this pack. I know that I saw it and I cringed. Here it is. Ingredients from sugar and soy in this product come from genetically modified crops. So it is a law right now that they have to put that on. So we are getting somewhere with these labeling laws, but sometimes you just want something and you don't want to be responsible and you just want to have something good, and that's okay too. Remember what I said, having it in moderation is a great way to be able to have the things that you want and not overwhelm your system with inflammatory bioengineered products. So when you look at all your products, that's something that you want to look at. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put all this back and maybe have a couple on my way out. Not this one though. I think I'm gonna stick to some of these more responsible Big Newtons, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this away. We'll tune in next time. We're gonna hit up some rice and pasta and sides for sure. But thanks for watching.